is a story that actually lifts the parda of an extremely sensitive issue in India. Well, welcome to the reviews this weekend, and we're talking about the magnum opus. And why I'd say this is a magnum opus is because it's a movie that is larger than life, but yet it tells a life story. And while a lot of people here talk about how this is Manoj Bajpai's movie, I'd like to move you for just a bit into Hansal Mehta territory. This is the man who came with Shahid. This is the man who's come back with Aligarh. And he's told the story so sensitively. And he's talked about taboo, something that we as Indians call taboo and keep under the parda. He's told it so well that not for one moment do you take yourself or remove yourself from the meat of the story, which is homosexuality, which is talking about having a completely different attention as a human being. Well, yes, he's told the story well. He's used the stark, the bare bones, run-down walled houses. He's used bad surroundings. He's used real chawls to actually tell this story. He's done it in extremely low light, but he's got amazing sound, ambient sound, that shifts every time and you don't even notice it. And that's the beauty of this story being told. Hansal Mehta, take the bow. Well, moving on, of course, we'll be talking about Manoj Bajpai. Manoj Bajpai, if you really want to watch this movie, is talking to this movie through his eyes. Watch his eyes in every scene of this movie and every shot of this movie, and they will tell the story that is Aligarh. He is frail, he's fragile, and you definitely empathize with the man. And at the end of the day, he comes out a large hero, which is extremely tough for anybody to do in a movie like this. The reason why I say it's sensitive is because in the doctor's eyes, you see loneliness, you see pain, and then you don't fault him for the kind of preferences that he has, because that's the power of his performance. It is Manoj Bajpai's movie. Rajkummar Rao stands up eyeball to eyeball with the man from Aligarh, the Professor Siras. He actually delivers a power-packed performance that not for once would take away from Manoj Bajpai, but at the same time, his story as the young journalist is extremely well told. What would I fault this movie with? I'd say very little, because it's good cinema, and you should always go out and watch good cinema. That's what it's about, storytelling. I'm so happy that Bollywood and Indian cinema is actually telling the good story. We've had so many stories, one after the other, coming across and telling completely different tales. Today I know who Professor Siras is. I know him well. I know about 377. And these are the issues that we are talking about. We are talking about the right to privacy in India. Yes, we like to put everything behind a parda, but when it comes to the right of privacy, we're kind of wanting in that. It does talk about how you should respect the other human being. It doesn't talk about being Hindu or Muslim, even though the backdrop for this full movie is the Aligarh Muslim University. It does talk about strong filmmaking and strong storytelling actually moving above everything else. Am I all in praise for this movie? I'd say what's wrong? I would have wanted to know about the other facets of the professor's life. How was he with his students? How was he at class? What kind of why did he teach Marathi in the Aligarh Muslim University? Nothing about his family. I think his brothers disowned him, but that could have been one part of the story. But I'm not faulting any of that. I'm seeing a well-told story, so go and watch it this weekend. How much would I give it? I'd give it 4 big stars for great cinema. Straight after Neerja, we actually come across Aligarh. And of course, there's more coming up during the year. And we'll bring it to you. But right now, it's about Manoj Bajpai. It is about Hansal Mehta, ladies and gentlemen. And it is about telling a story sensitively. Thank God there is no hip-swinging and limp-wristed characters in this movie that are gay. Thank God for that. We have moved beyond that. And this is cinema that we need to celebrate. On that note, we're going to close the reviews for this week, and we'll see you next week on the reviews. Till then, it's a bye from me.